A day in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital. Diesel generators here power small and big businesses. Massive power outages mean even those connected to the national grid draw no electricity from it. While grid coverage in Africa has increased to 65% in the last 10 years, much of the continent is still in the dark.
You realize that there are a few countries, especially in Northern Africa, that have actually done pretty well. But if you look at other countries, especially Eastern Africa and some parts of West Africa, the grid coverage of this particular electrification process is still quite low. For instance, we have a near universal coverage for areas like Mauritius, Egypt, but then if you go down like countries like Burundi with just about 17% coverage, that is still a concern.
The statistics are grim. Of the 54,000 people interviewed in 36 African countries, only 4 in 10 enjoy a reliable power supply. While in some African countries, only a fraction of the population is connected to the electric grid. In others, extensive coverage is undermined by poor supply and reliability. 2/3 of Africans think their governments are not doing enough to power the continent.
For instance, is Nigeria, that has a high level of connectivity of just about 96%. Connectivity. The reliability in that country is just about 18%. The same applies to Ghana, about 87% in terms of connectivity, but reliabilities are just about 42%. A country like Guinea just has about 12% reliability.
But it's not all gloom. Despite load shedding in South Africa, the country is among the best in terms of bridging rural and urban distribution. Kenya, on the other hand, has covered much ground in increasing connectivity.
We have about 95% in terms of coverage for South Africa. And even when you look at their rural-urban divide in terms of distribution, they have a difference of less than 10 percentage points. Kenya records the highest improvement in grid coverage from what it was in about 47% in the year 2005-2006 to about 83% last year in the year 2014-2015. Now, Kenya has been followed closely by Cape Verde and Malawi.
Electricity is ranked 11th in terms of priority problems that governments in Africa must tackle, far behind unemployment and education. And although it's not in the top 10 priorities, electricity comes in ahead of corruption, housing and political violence. Sarah Kimani, SABC News, Kenya.